My name is Heather Lytle, and I'm the Executive Director of F.A.C.T. F.A.C.T is a family organization that strives to give families that include a person with a disability a voice in their child or loved one's life.
My name is Melissa. I was brought into the F.A.C.T family when my son had a manifestation meeting at school.
I reached out to F.A.C.T. I have a child with a disability and learned that they offer supports for education, advocacy, and I felt like I needed some assistance in that area. My daughter was getting ready to start kindergarten, and I really had no idea what I was doing and felt very lost.
I had been contacting the school for months. I had talked to the principal, I had talked to the different teachers, I had contacted his IEP coordinator, and they just kept saying, oh, we're addressing this and we're working on that.
So we did the bringing cookies to school and sucking up, for lack of a better term, but trying to forge those relationships. And I think that when we got to the point where everybody was throwing their hands up and saying, we don't know what else to do, we didn't feel like they didn't like us or didn't love us, but we did feel like, wait a second, we have done everything to be nice, to play along, to work in good faith, and you're already giving up on our kid. I had kind of reached out to a friend, and she had suggested another advocacy group, but they did a lot of training and didn't go with you. And so I knew at the point where we were, I was going to be way too emotional to do it by myself and just didn't feel very confident.
I was completely overwhelmed and could barely breathe, and found F.A.C.T.
The first thing she said to me when I met with her was, I want to teach you to be empowered to do this on your own. And so that was what she did.
It was really helpful to have a parent coordinator who'd been through this. And
yes, the programs are wonderful, the things they taught me are great, but having that person that was for me, just someone I could talk to that completely related.
She was amazing at saying, okay, this is what they're suggesting, let's work with it, and keeping the document and helping us keep that organized so that when we came back and said, here's what the data shows. So I think that without an advocate or without F.A.C.T, we would still be kind of just signing paperwork that we didn't even realize what we were signing, that we would not know we had other options.
This is what's happening, this is what's doing, and this is what we do for all these kids. And some of that, when you're dealing with 100 and 200 and 300 and 400 kids, you do have to have certain lanes that you put people in, but they don't necessarily have to be boxes, they can be lanes.
My son's a different kid. He actually likes going to school. He talks to me now about the problems.
I now have confidence to go into that and not feel like I'm going to be completely bullied or not know my child's rights.
It's a path and journey that can seem very dark and very alone if you don't have people lighting the way for you. And where I found my F.A.C.T worker, she kind of lit that for me, but more for me is she walked it with me.
We have very few services statewide that support families and individuals directly in strengthening their voices. When people with disabilities and their families know what their options are and know what they need, it strengthens the whole system.
F.A.C.T has been a godsend for my family. I don't know where we would be without their support. I don't know where my son would be right now without his support. Without F.A.C.T, we would not be in the school district. Without F.A.C.T, my son would not be learning. He would not be moving forward with his education, his social skills, in order to become a member of society, in order to become a person. They made him a person in the school's eyes.